Hello there and welcome to the Sports Challenge 2020 fundraising briefing. Apologies about the surroundings, this isn't normally how we do things, but what's been normal this year. Now if you're here, congratulations, your team's been selected to take part. It shows that you're needing funding for a project, and the idea is that we give you some steer and direction on how to raise big money in a short space of time, rather than just throwing you in at the deep end and watching you struggle. Okay, now this is a tried and tested formula. We've been working with sports clubs for the last several years. Over £300,000 has been granted out from this appeal alone. So it's, listen to the ideas that's here. A lot of it is the basics, a lot of it's bread and butter, but it's how it's set up will literally help you over the next 4 or 5 weeks get to a really good place with the with your fundraising challenge. Okay, so just a reminder, you'll have seen it on the website already, but basically we recruited a load of sports teams to take part, and they go into a fundraising competition. Now the group that raises the most money gets a grant of £5,000, and they also get back every penny that they've raised. Okay, every other club that takes part still gets a grant back with how much they have raised. Okay, so you've got nothing to lose by taking part in this. Okay, it's a huge opportunity. Again, once I've talked through the strategy, how we get through each part to set your club up for success, you should get yourself a really good grant back. So if you are finding fundraising a struggle, hopefully this will make things a little bit easier. And if you're finding funding a struggle, hopefully towards the end of the year we'll be having a great conversation sharing how much your club is going to get. Okay, now the first bit, easiest way to explain this, so you're probably better grabbing a pen and a bit of paper. If you've not got that now, hit pause and come back to me. But literally I'll take as many notes as you can. You can re-watch the video as many times as you want. Okay, so the first part is communications. Okay, so if chances are the person that's applied to enter the competition is probably a coach, a fundraiser, or a committee member of the club. Okay, there's probably a handful of people in your close circle of trust, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so they're the people that you need by your side. Okay, they're going to be your knights in armour. Okay, so basically the easiest way to explain how this works is you are not asking people to donate, you're asking people to fundraise. Okay, say it again, you're not asking people to donate, you're asking people to fundraise. Now I'm going to explain how all that works okay, in a moment. But that's the bit that you've got to get your head around. Okay, scribble it, capital letters at the top of your page. You're not asking people to donate, you're asking them to fundraise. Okay, and that's the difference with this campaign. That's why we're talking pounds and not pennies, and you'll see that when it comes back later on. Okay, so communications this year, of course it's going to have been really tough. Everybody's been in lockdown, all the sports have been cancelled, some haven't even returned yet. But there's still obviously a need for the funding, which obviously you guys are applying for right now. Okay, so it's a great opportunity this to just re-engage your parents and your core network that's involved with the club. Okay, if you've had a quiet few months because of lack of activity, or you've only just started back up, this is a great opportunity for you to pull everybody back in instantly. Okay, this campaign has also had a great success at engaging disengaged parents. Okay, so if you are one of them clubs that's got loads and loads of kids that just get dropped off at the door and you don't even see the parents, this is your opportunity to engage with them and invite them into the network. Okay, now this network is going to be completely priceless. Okay, so what you're doing is, as I've explained, I've said it multiple times already and you'll be sick of me saying it, but I promise you it's important. We're not asking people to donate, we're asking them to fundraise. Okay, so basically one of the fundraising examples is a football card. Whether you're a football club or not, chances are you've probably seen one of these, or a name card. Might be Name the Teddy Bear or something like that. Okay, one of the most, probably in this appeal, the most popular fundraising mechanic that's out there. Okay, it's dead simple, and especially in these times, It works in the digital market because you can bang one of these on Facebook, and basically all of your friends on your Facebook list can pick a team, send the donation in, and you can sort out a prize with them after. Okay? Now let me put this into a wider perspective for you. So rather than you putting this on Facebook, right, what if you had a pile of these, 50, 100, 200 of these, okay? And let's treat this rack of balls as if this is the first child in your network, okay? That child is going to have mum, dad. They're going to have aunties, uncles, aunties. They're going to have grandparents, okay, on two sides of the family. They're going to have friends, they're going to have godparents, and I'm running out of balls here, okay? So that's one child, okay? One child. Look at all those opportunities that the parent can take a handful of these cards off you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay? One of these football cards will raise anything from probably, worst case scenario, 25 quid. Best case scenario, it could be a few hundred, depending on what types of games they play, okay? That's just one child's network there that you're tapping into. Okay, so I hope the understanding's there for how this works. So if you've got 50 children in your team, okay, my goodness, what could happen with that? And that's exactly how this game works, okay? You are literally going to each child, their parents, to go to their network to say, I don't want you to donate because you will know, you will be exhausted from asking them poor parents for money all the time. They are potentially, fed up or hard up, not being able to give or not wanting to give or whatever. So you're not asking them for the money. You're asking them to take a couple of football cards or sponsorship forms and say, can you raise me £20 instead? Okay? Because when we've set up your fundraising page for you, the first thing you would normally do is share the page, won't you? And the problem with that is, the first thing that will happen, you will probably get 10, 15, 20 donations on your page. Fiver, tenner, 20 quid, fiver, tenner. Good luck, good luck, good luck. And that's it. You'll not see them again. Okay? That's not what you want. The person that's donating the £5, you want them to take one of these and you want to say, look, can you come back to me and raise 25 quid, 50 pounds, 100 pounds, okay? And that's exactly what works with this sports challenge. The sports clubs that get involved, they reach out to their networks, okay? And they give out easy fundraising activities that people can run in their workplaces, on their Facebook pages, various other environments, okay? And that's how you get multiple high value donations, okay? So rather than going out there asking for £1, asking for a fiver, these are basically 20, 30, 40, 50 quid upwards, okay? And that's how you get the multipliers. So that's literally the easiest way to explain it. So when you get down to there's other fundraising ideas. So the football card's just an easy one to pick, okay? So part of your notes will probably be nip on eBay and order a good handful of these. I think these are from the Bingo Warehouse. You can get them in different sizes. This is 80 teams. This is one of the biggest ones, but they do them all the way down to sort of 30 or 40 teams if you want something smaller. You can give one of these to your local pub. You can give it to your hairdresser, anybody that's in a service environment that's seeing customers all day long, your local shop or a local business, people that are coming in that can pay 50p or £1, have a go on the game. If the local business can put the prize on for you and maybe give a cut and blow dry at the hairdresser as a return for the prize, even better, because then you'll be able to keep all of the money, okay? So that's just the first of the simple ideas, okay? So the next one is something called the Smartitude Challenge. Now the Smartitubes, again, very easy to execute, very, very cheap. So a standard tube of Smarties, I've got one in the office but not here, but basically a tube of Smarties will hold £12.60 in 20 pence pieces, okay? £12.60 in 20 pence pieces. So what a great activity for the kids. Let the kids get involved with this. Give them all a tube of Smarties. They can have the Smarties as a treat. And then they can spend the duration of the sports challenge collecting 20p's from family or wherever. And if they can fill up as many tubes as possible, they soon add up. So one group last year raised, I think it was nearly £700 just in Smarty Tubes, because they got every single child involved at every age group, and it was great return, again, for very, very little work and effort. So again, the second key idea there, you've got your football card, you've got your Smarty Tubes, a couple of great, easy to execute ideas there that you can put in place almost instantly, okay? Next idea is sponsorship. So again, we'll send you a sponsorship form, or people can just pay on via the link to your page. So basically, a couple of pieces of activity. Rival Shirt Challenge. So the Rival Shirt Challenge is aiming to reach the people that absolutely detest their rival team. So if you've got somebody, for argument's sake, is a Sheffield United fan, and they would absolutely do anything to not wear a Sheffield Wednesday fan, they might be swearing at you for even considering them to do it, they are exactly the type of person that you need to sign up to that challenge, okay? A couple of reasons. Firstly, if they've got such animosity for the rival team, chances are they're going to get more donations in, obviously, just from a banter perspective from the football community, and also they'll raise more money, because if someone turns around to you and says, I want you to wear a rival's football top, you're not going to say, I'll do it for £50, are you? You're more likely to say 250 or 500. The record for this so far is about £1,600, and this was somebody that literally would go the opposite direction to not drive past Hillsborough, okay? So these are the people that just detest their rival football club. What a great opportunity. Do a huge, huge favour for your team to get involved and do something like that, okay? So the Rival Shirt Challenge is another great idea to the pot. Okay, another sponsored idea, which is on our doorstep, is a bungee jump. So again, a bungee jump, not for the faint-hearted, but over in Magna in Rotherham, we have got the world's largest indoor bungee jump, okay? It's 160 feet tall, which in comparison is the same height as the Sheffield Cathedral, okay? This thing is done in the near dark. You can't see the floor when you're at the top because they put that ice water down. They put eerie music on in the background, okay? If you've got a little wry smile at the moment, that probably means you've already got someone in mind for who you want to do it, okay? So again, these jumps are every month. They're only £50, so you can incentivise your jumpers to say, if you raise a certain amount of money, 250, 300 quid, take £50 back out, do the jump for free. And at least then you've got 200 quid for somebody doing a sponsored piece of activity, okay? Now let me just rewind back to the start of the video when that same person was probably the person that would have donated the £5 or a tenner, okay? And now, 10-15 minutes in, we're already at a £200 mark for one person. So again, I'm hoping from a strategy point of view, this is sinking in and you're kind of getting it from how to approach your network, okay? So there's a few ideas we've covered there so far. So we've got the football cards, we've got the Smarty Tubes, we've got the rival shirts, and we've got the bungee jumps, okay? There's millions of other things that you can do, okay? People might want to shave their head, they might want to have a weight loss challenge, they might want to do other things that you can do, okay? You will get a sponsor form template through to your email account, okay, when the competition launches. So again, main piece of advice, and again, I'll probably write this bit down, that when you come to your first couple of days of the campaign, okay, you need to take it easy. Don't go bull in a china shop. Just stay calm and take it easy, okay? So the first thing that you probably need is a good handful of these. Again, you can get them delivered within 24 hours off of eBay or Amazon. They only cost a few pounds. And then print off a load of your sponsorship forms that, again, you can hand out either physically or, drop an email to someone that's willing to do it, okay? So there's some great ideas there that'll literally is your bread and butter money, is the easiest way to kind of explain that. The other advantage of that, okay, is that literally whatever you do for the rest of the fundraising window, okay, and bear in mind you've got about 5 weeks to get this nailed, start to finish. Spend the first few days sorting all this out, getting all your bits, handing them out to people that are wanting to help, okay. If you do nothing for the rest of the campaign, okay, people are doing that work for you, because if you remember, we're scaling up the networks and you've got people 3 or 4 mutual chains down the line, people that you've never met and will probably never meet, are fundraising for you, okay? And they're going to come back to you in 2, 3, 4 weeks or the final week, and they're going to go, there you go guys, there's the money I've raised from my football card, my bungee jump, good luck, thank you very much, and there you go. So that's how you get your crowd to react, okay? One more opportunity I want to talk to you about, okay? And this has been one of the biggest fundraisers since we started this. It's not events, obviously. Again, events completely off the table at the moment. Social distancing. We're in a pandemic, so events is as popular as they are and hard work they are, and they can have great returns. Obviously, it's a netty no for this time. So basically, the most popular fundraising idea is corporate donations, okay? Not sure if you've worked with corporate donations before. You might work with a local business that sponsors your shirt, and you have a name or a logo on your shirts or on pieces of equipment at your clubhouses or your gyms or wherever. Some teams might have a football stand where that has got naming rights to it or something like that, where they've worked with a local business, okay? Now, no matter what you read in the papers and things at the moment, there are still businesses out there doing well. I know all the news is focusing on the negative things, on job losses and things like that, but there are businesses out there in this environment doing really, really well. Now, one prime example, if you think back to lockdown earlier this year, we all had our holidays cancelled, we all had nothing to do, so we were spending on the home. So all the home improvements that people have had. So any trades, any retail and things related to the home and home ownership and things like that. Again, it's worth having conversations with people in your network, because again, if you go to the child's parent, and what are their jobs? Are they a trade? Do they have a neighbour? Do they have godparents who owns a business? You've got a massive network of people that you can approach, or people can approach on your behalf to say, can you help with a donation? Okay? Businesses can claim tax relief on corporate donations. And there are many businesses out there that just don't get the opportunity. They don't get asked, okay? Another interesting thing is that a lot of businesses, or your more mainstream businesses, if you like, or ones that are a bit more popular in the community or have big followings, they will probably get inundated every single day from people doing various fundraising for events, for auction prizes and things like that. And again, this year, all gone downhill, okay? There's been no events, there's been no major activities, gatherings or anything like that. So all these businesses that are used to giving are probably now lacking an opportunity. So it's perfect time for you to approach them to say, can you help with our sports challenge, okay? And if it's a business that's based in your community, in your neighbourhood, chances are they're more than likely to say yes, because they know the money that's raised is coming back to you, and it's going to be a great message for them to put out to their customers, their clients or their supporters, to say we're supporting a local group where we live, okay? So corporates, don't underestimate it. If you've got somebody in that network of yours, in that close circle on your committee, or one of your parents that works in maybe sales, or works in a business-to-business environment, or just someone that's incredibly well connected, why don't you ask them, can you be our corporate king, queen for us, please, okay? One group that took part a couple of years ago raised, I think it was in excess of £12,000 on multiple sponsorship deals for the team. And again, it just completely blew away the competition. And that was just somebody being well connected. Just one person making a few calls, and it's amazing what that can do. So don't underestimate that. Costs absolutely nothing bar somebody's time. If somebody is that well-connected person, that's exactly the person that you need to be doing it. Okay, so again, just to do a bit of a mini recap. So when you've got all these things going on, try and pass the buck around a little bit. So if you've got a pile of football cards, can your right winger take on a handful of football cards to hand out? Can your treasurer, your committee member or somebody else, can they look after the sponsor forms to hand out? Have you got someone else in the network that can be corporate? And then that frees you up to just carry on pulling all the strings, keeping everything in place, and making sure that the rest of the club is running as normal, okay? So, Trying to think if there's anything else that I want to explain. So I'm going to go into the sort of the next steps. Okay. So as I've already mentioned, we've got a 5-week fundraising window. Okay. So I think just if everything I've already said already is kind of dripped out your head or is just scribbled in notes, I'll go a little bit slower just for say the first few key bullet points in terms of setting this up. So the first couple of actions: print off a load of sponsor forms and order a load of football cards. Okay. The sponsor forms, you'll find people still like manual fundraising. Okay. They will still take a piece of paper to a factory or somewhere where work colleagues haven't got direct access to the internet where they can pop online and visit your page. Okay. So certainly in the industrial world, paper sponsorship forms are still very common, so don't underestimate that. So print off plenty of forms, print off plenty of your, order plenty of your football cards ready to go. I will probably make a short list. Okay, so I've mentioned about your close network, your circle of trust. Who else is there in your group? Okay, you must have them few parents that are always happy to help, always the first to arrive, last ones to leave, because they're helping out doing something. Get them on board as well and just say, look, can you help with handing out some of these, or pop some of these in the post to some people so that they can get fundraising on our behalf. Okay, so a couple of simple things there to get in place straight away. Okay, your club will receive an email, okay, which will have all of this broken down. It will have loads of attachments like your sponsor forms. It will have letters of support from the charity. So if you are approaching local businesses, it will have, again, authority from us to say that we're happy for you to represent the sports challenge in order to help you fundraise. Okay, so you'll get an email with a load of bullet points on breaking this down, and it'll also have a load of attachments on, which again you can forward around your group, around your network. Okay, you will also get a link to a Google Drive. Okay, that's basically an iCloud that's got some files on it. Again, it just makes it easier to share. You can ping the email straight to people's mobiles, so if they need access to letters or fundraising donation sheets, then basically it's all there. Okay, to make it much easier for you to get going. Okay. So it's really, really important that you just literally take some, take your time, I guess. I mean, the idea of the 5 weeks is you probably spend the first few days getting your heads together and setting it up, and then start handing things out. Okay, so your notebook that you've got to take notes on another page, start jotting some names down of people that are going to help. Okay, and put a post out on your social media and just say, you know what, we're finalists in the sports challenge. This is huge. Hundreds of thousands of pounds gets given out to local sports clubs. We need your help. Can you help? Okay, and I've absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, you will get plenty of people that will comment, how can I help, how can I help, how can I help? Okay, whether that's either on your post or whether you've got an internal group or WhatsApp group chat or however you communicate. Okay, you will get pledges from people saying, let me know what I can do, how can I help, can I introduce you to anybody, can I take a form or a football card off you? Again, utilise your notebook, because you'll get busy and you're still doing whatever you're doing. You're still working, you're still managing the club, you've still got all these day-to-day responsibilities, and you're trying to look after the club sports challenge as well. So use your notebook to write down any leads that you get. So if somebody comments in a group chat and Dave says, right, send me a football card, write it down and make sure you've done it. Okay, because you'll get inundated with people wanting to help you. What an amazing feeling. Okay, promise it will happen, because it happens with every team that takes part. They open themselves out, they want people to come in, and people offer their help. Okay, so at least with your book, what I usually say, and again, I'll drop an email out probably a week into the competition, and I'll say, you know what, just stop what you're doing. Go back to your book at the very start. Look back at all those pledges that you had from people saying they were willing to help, and go back and check it up. So at least then you're not leaving everything to the last minute, and then they've left it too late to do anything, and then you end up in trouble that way. Okay? One thing that I've not mentioned so far that you might be surprised at is basically sharing the fundraising page. I may have mentioned it earlier on, but do not share the fundraising page publicly. Okay, you will get a link to your own fundraising page. That is your one channel that you use. Don't set up any Just Giving pages, any other sponsorships, any GoFundMes. Nothing like that, okay? Competition rules are quite strict. Nothing else will count. Only the funds that are paid onto your Giving is Easy page, okay, will count, and that will be part of the funds that are collected towards the winning team that gets the the match fund of up to £5,000. Okay, so the link, only send it to the people that are agreeing to do a fundraiser for you. Okay, so if somebody says, you know what, I'm going to shave my head, I'm going to do the rival shirt challenge, or I'm going to do a bungee jump, thank you very much, my friend. Here's the link. There you go. They will use that link and put it on their networks, their Facebook, their Twitter, their other social medias, okay, or email it around to friends and family, email it around the office, and they will collect donations for you. So your page will just constantly build donations on, hopefully every day, with people doing different pieces of activity for you. Okay, everything will all funnel into the one page, so it just makes it easier for you. Obviously, it's a legal thing as well, so from a competitions perspective, it has to stay on that link. Okay, so anybody wants to do a fundraising piece of activity for you, make sure they do not set up their own page. They must use your link that you get, okay? And that will come in the email when the competition launches. One link only, okay? So again, the dirty no-no on this is sharing that link publicly straight away. And again, people have still done it, and then they realise why not as many people come to help. Because people donate the £5, say thank you very much and good luck, and that's it. And that person that donated the £5 should have been raising you £50 instead. Okay, I think that's explained everything. I appreciate it's a long video. The briefings historically usually take up to an hour. So if you need to watch this video back, watch it back. If you need to share it with some more people within your network, do it. Pop it in your group chats or email it or something like that. But it works, I think, is the only reason I can explain. Is we've had 40 or 50 clubs take part in the sports challenge so far in the last few years, and like I say, the proof's in the pudding. You can look at all the videos on the Cash for Kids Facebook page of all the groups. There's videos on our YouTube channel of interviews with previous sports challenges, and they actually talk about what they did to raise funds. Bear in mind, they might have been doing events and things at the time, but even if you don't want to do all that research, if you literally just follow those 3, 4, 5 things that I've mentioned in this video, put that strategy into place with your network that's out there right in front of you, with all your parents and everybody else, okay, should still be a glorious opportunity to raise at least a couple of grand. Which is there, if you've got a wider network that's a bit more engaged, or you've got some people that are well connected in the business community, the record on the sports challenge, I think, is about 21,000. Okay, and bear in mind, like I say, out of all the money given out in sports challenges in the past, I'd say only maybe 25%, 30% was events. So there's still a huge opportunity out there for you with the corporate donations and the bread and butter stuff that I mentioned earlier on. So share this video with your team. If you want to share it in your groups or something like that, let a few more people watch it. Appreciate not everybody's got half an hour or so time to dedicate to watching it, but there's a lot of money out there to be had, and it could be your team having a big check when this campaign's finished, getting a huge amount of money, investment, much needed for your club. Okay, Michelle and I are contactable anytime. Just drop us an email and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. We are also heading up our Mission Christmas appeal, so if it takes a while, it might be the next day before we get back to you. Don't panic, we'll get back to you as soon as possible. And lastly, you'll get some fundraising terms and conditions through. Just make sure that you've double checked them, and you just give someone in the group some responsibility over making sure. Again, we're in testing times at the moment. We need to make sure things like social distancing is adhered to. Absolutely nothing that involves any events or crowds being gathering, because it's people's health's at risk. So if you stick to the bits that we've been talking about, predominantly it's all online anyway, then you shouldn't have any issues, and you can still raise your club a huge amount of money. Okay, anything else, drop us an email. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. Lastly, thank you very much. Good luck, and I really wish you all the best, and I hope that your team gets a huge grant from us at the end of the campaign. Take care, guys. Good luck. Speak to you soon. All the best.